Hey everybody, welcome back to Stone Mountain Barbecue. Today, I'm going to be showing you my favorite way to cook a steak. Let's get going. So today guys, we have two New York strip steaks. My local grocery store said these were prime steaks. I mean, they've got some good marbling, but I don't know if they're prime. I've never really had any experience with prime, so you can tell me there. I don't know, what do you think? They've got some decent marbling. The biggest thing that I like about a New York strip is that they've got this big fat cap on the back side. I like to gnaw on that after I get done, so that's just what I like. What we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to be using some of this Pit Patriots hickory barbecue grilling rub. It's got some nice smells to it. It's got chipotle pepper, some honey, some red chilies, hickory smoked sea salt, a lot of good flavors that I think are going to be really good on this beef. But we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be using their Golden Ale mustard sort of as a binder like you would ribs or something like that. And the reason we're going to do that is we're not going to sear these things as soon as we get everything seasoned up. We're going to do a reverse sear on these steaks. That is my favorite way to cook a steak. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop this Golden Ale mustard open. And it smells amazing. You can probably guess by the name, it does have a little bit of craft beer in here. And it's just got an awesome smell. It is a little bit robust. So if you like a milder mustard, I don't know if you'll like this, but now I love it. It's got a nice grain in there. So if you like grainy mustard, you'll really like this, I think. You can take a look at it here. Again, a great smell. All we're gonna do is take a little bit of this on here, and we're just going to spread this on here just like you would ribs. I'm not trimming these things up any. We are just going to get our hands dirty and rub this in here. Now, do I think it'll give a big difference in flavor? Not really. It may, because like I said, it is a grainy mustard, so some of that mustard seed may stay on here. But we're just going to rub it down and try to get some of the excess off. Now that we have these rubbed up with that Golden Ale mustard, we're going to go ahead and take this hickory grilling barbecue rub, hickory barbecue grilling rub, and we're just going to dust it on top of all these. Now we're going to coat these well. Like I said, we're going to be reverse searing these. So that's going to allow that internal temperature to come up slow. It gives you a more broad spectrum of not having to worry about walking away from your steak. I don't know about you, but when I first started cooking, first started grilling steaks, I was always nervous that I was going to mess them up. Steaks aren't something that are cheap unless you find them on discount like I do. But either way, you don't want to mess that piece of meat up. A steak is kind of like the rite of passage, I guess you could say, for a novice griller or barbecuer. And if you can get a steak down right, it boosts your confidence, makes you feel a whole lot better about what you're doing. So we're gonna let these hang out for just a little bit. We're gonna let that pit come up to temperature. I'm using the Austin XL. I've got it running at 225. We're gonna do that until these steaks come up to about 80 degrees. Now, once they do that, we're gonna flip them and let them ride up to about 110, 115. I like my steaks more on the medium to medium rare side. If you like your steak a little bit more done, go ahead and wait, let it get up to 110, 120, 125, even 130 degrees to get you to that 145, 150-ish, even if you like it medium well. Once you get past 150, you're really not eating a steak anymore. You're pretty much eating shoe leather, but that's just my opinion. Don't hate me, it's just my opinion. Cook your steak however you want. So we're gonna let these hang out, let that rub kind of sort of penetrate that meat, let it hang out, get all that combined nice, get all the aromatics going. That mustard, the vinegar in that mustard may break down some of this muscle of the meat and let that seasoning get in there. So we're gonna see how this works out. Never done a steak like this before, but I have reverse seared a lot of steaks and I really enjoy it. So we're gonna go down to the pit and get these things on there. I'll see you there. All right, guys, our New York strips are on the pit boss right now. I cranked the temperature down actually to 200 because it was running at about 260, even though I was setting it on 225. Probably go ahead and put it back to 225 here in a second. But just for right now, when we first get them on there, I didn't want it to be too hot. So let's take a look at them. So I have them here on the right side away from the fire pan. Now you'll notice on the Austin XL, it does have this kind of deflector shield. When we sear these, we're actually going to crank the temperature up and remove that shield so that we can have a direct sear with wood pellet flame. But there you go, we've got our probes in. We're going to leave them on that grate just for easier moving if we have to. And like I said, we're going to flip them at about 80 degrees. They started out roughly around 50 degrees, so we've got about 30 degrees to go, and we will get back with you when we flip them. Alrighty folks, as you can see, we've already flipped the strip steaks. Ended up, one got to about 92, 93, the other one got to about 100, so we're going to let these go about 10, 15 more degrees. May let them come up to about 120. We're reaching for around 135, 140 as an internal temp, so we're going to let them go and then get the pit ready for searing, and I'll be back. Alright guys, obviously we've got one going a little bit quicker than the other. Let's take a look. Let some smoke clear out here. There they are, looking good. Let's go ahead and pull them off, let them sit for a little bit, rest up, and get the pit ready to sear. Alright guys, here is our New York strips. We're going to throw these on here. We're only going to let these go about maybe a minute, maybe even less each side, because our temperature got a little bit high. So I still want to be in that at least medium range. All right, there we have it, folks. We are done with this cook. It was super quick, super simple. Only took about 40 minutes total, not counting the time to get the pit up to temperature. Now, the reason that I love reverse searing steaks isn't because it does some crazy chemical thing and a lot of things that are smarter than me that someone can probably tell you or Google can probably show you. But the reason that I like it is that it's not such a rush. You're able to take time away. If you're cooking other things, getting dinner prepared, you can step away and get everything else done. Me, I'm terrible at time management. So if I'm trying to cook everything on the stove, it makes it a little bit tough for me. Now, don't think that you have to have a smoker to do this. You can do the exact same thing in your oven. Set your oven down to 225, put it on a cookie sheet, and with a wire rack, a cooling rack, set that thing, let it go for about 25, 30 minutes. Check the internal temperature. You need an instant read thermometer. I used a little thermopop today to help me out. Just now check the temps on these. We're at about 135-ish. A little bit less, which is fine. But you can do the exact same thing. Let it come up to about 120, 125, even 130. Have your skillet hot and ready. Throw it in there, sear it off, and you're done. It's just a much simpler, less stressful way for me to cook a steak. Now, let's do what's important. Let's cut into these things. As you can see on here, we got a nice crust on this fat. The fat cap rendered really well. Got some nice grill marks as well. I'm gonna go ahead and cut into this one. Move this one to the side. You can see the board's already nice and juicy. So we're just gonna go straight across the top. And I don't know if you can see that or if the camera picks it up, guys, but that's a beautiful medium to medium rare internal. Let's take a bite. Perfect for me. Wall-to-wall pink, nice and warm center. Tender as all get out. That fat has rendered beautifully. Now, let's talk about this Pit Patriots Hickory Barbecue Grilling Rub. Now, if you saw my video before with the chicken wings, you know that these guys put a heat index on their website. This Hickory Grilling Rub is a 3 out of 10. It has a really nice back of your tongue spice on the end of it, and I really enjoy it. Now, do I taste the mustard, the golden ale mustard? Not really, and I assumed that it was going to be that way. The biggest reason that I wanted to try to use it was to show that you don't always have to do everything by the book. That's something that I've never done before, never tried before, but I wanted to see how it worked out and to show you guys some of their products. If you don't remember from the last video that I did for them or with them, they do give you a discount code. It'll be down in the description box below. If you use that code, you save 20% on your first order. That helps me and the channel out just a little bit as well. This steak is awesome, guys. New York strip isn't my favorite steak. But many more cooks like this, and it very well could be. Hey guys, I appreciate you for watching. Be sure to check out all the links down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you know every time I upload a video. We don't really have a schedule, so that'll help you out a little bit. If you're new, consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. We're closing in on 7,000. And hey, it's only up from there. Thanks guys, y'all stick with me. We'll see what we can do. God bless.